Imagine you sit down at your desk, you adjust your lighting, you turn on your camera, and you get ready for a big job interview.
Right. You take a deep breath. You want to look professional.
Exactly. You sit up straight, you smile. But instead of a human interviewer greeting you, an AI interface appears on your screen.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that can be a big surprise for a lot of people.
It really can. And almost instantly, it's ready to go. Because in a Mercor AI interview, your resume may strongly influence the exact questions you receive.
Yes. And I mean, for anyone applying for remote AI jobs, or maybe AI training jobs, data annotation, or, domain expert positions, this is becoming a very real situation.
Right. It's not science fiction anymore. It's happening right now.
As
So welcome to our exploration of the sources today.
Glad to be here.
Our mission today is to look at these AI-led job interviews. We want to understand how they work, and most importantly, share some practical tips to help you succeed.
That's a great goal. And I want to clarify right away, our goal is not to teach anyone how to trick the AI.
Oh no, definitely not.
Right. We want to help you clearly and honestly communicate your real experience. That's the best way to handle this.
Exactly. Because talking to an AI is, well, it's just different from talking to a human.
It is. It really is.
So let's start with the first big topic from our sources. I like to call it the resume trap.
The resume trap. I like that name.
Yeah. Because before we even talk about how to answer the questions, we have to know what the AI is going to ask. And some candidates report that the AI scans your resume and generates customized questions based on what you wrote.
That's a huge point. It is very resume driven. It's not just a generic list of, 10 common interview questions.
Right. It's highly role specific.
Exactly. So if you list a specific skill, the AI will likely see that and ask you to explain it.
Okay. So let's say I put AI evaluation on my resume.
Well, the AI might demand that you explain exactly how you evaluated the AI. Like, what was your process?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Or if you write down something like math reasoning, it might ask you how you check logic step by step.
Yeah.
Or if you list a tool like LaTeX, it might ask how you used it for a specific project.
So it actually understands the context of my skills.
Well, it connects the words on your resume to its system. It's sort of like taking an open book test, but the AI wrote the test based on your personal book.
That is such a good way to explain it. It wrote the test based on my book, so I guess that means I can't just memorize generic interview answers.
No, you really can't. You have to know your own resume perfectly.
Every single line.
Every single line. If you can't confidently explain a bullet point on your resume, you probably shouldn't include it.
That makes a lot of sense. So just be honest about your skill level.
Exactly. Be honest and be ready to explain your real experience.
Okay, so let's say I did that. My resume is accurate. The AI asks me a fair question about my experience. Now we have to talk about how the AI actually listens to me.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
The silence trap.
The silence trap. Our sources show this is a major technical thing that confuses even really qualified candidates.
It's true. Because think about a normal interview with a human. If they ask you a hard question and you look up and you go silent for a few seconds.
The human knows I'm just thinking.
Right. They can see your face. They know you're deep in thought, so they just wait patiently.
But the AI doesn't do that.
In some AI interviews, a long silence may be interpreted as the end of an answer.
Wait, really? So if I just pause to think about my answer?
The system might think you are finished speaking, and it will just cut you off and move to the next prompt.
Oh, wow. That sounds so stressful. You're just trying to gather your thoughts and suddenly the screen changes.
Yeah, some candidates report this happening to them. So the practical strategy here is that you should avoid going completely silent.
Okay, but how do I do that if I need a second to think? I can't just start answering if I don't know what to say yet.
You use bridging phrases.
Yeah.
You basically narrate your thinking out loud.
Bridging phrases, like what?
So if you get a tough question, you can say, let me think about that for a second.
Oh, I see.
Or you could say, that's a good question. Let me structure my answer.
I want to answer this clearly, so I'll break it into 2 parts. Something like that.
Yes, exactly. By saying those phrases, you are making sound. The microphone hears you, so the AI knows you are still there and still working on your turn.
And it buys my brain a few seconds to actually figure out my answer. That is such a smart workaround.
It really helps. And speaking of the microphone, our sources mention that technical setup is super important.
Oh, definitely. You have to do a tech check before the interview begins.
Right. You should always use the browser recommended by the platform. Some browsers might not work well with the audio or video software they use.
So just follow their instructions, test your camera, test your microphone.
Check your lighting, check your internet connection. Do all of this in the virtual waiting room or whatever testing area they give you.
Because if your microphone drops out during the interview, the AI isn't going to help you fix it.
No, it won't. So get the tech setup right first.
Okay, so we've got the tech working. We know how to avoid the silence trap. Now, what actually makes a good answer?
Well, the AI is usually trying to isolate your specific contributions. Vagueness is a big problem.
Vagueness, like not giving enough detail.
Right. Let's actually do a quick role play to show this.
Oh, I would love to. Okay, I'll play the AI interviewer and you play the candidate.
Sounds good. Let's start with a weak answer first.
Okay, beep boop. Can you explain a project from your resume?
Yes. We worked on a project to improve the code. We wanted to make it faster, so we fixed some bugs. It was a really great team effort, and we were happy with it.
Okay, end of role play. Yeah, that was really vague.
It was. What was the main problem with it, do you think?
Well, you use the word we way too much. We worked on a project, we fixed bugs. The AI wants to hire you, not your whole team.
Exactly. I didn't explain what my specific role was, and I didn't give any clear steps or measurable results.
Right. It sounded nice, but it didn't give the AI any real information about your skills.
So let's try it again. Give me the same prompt, and I'll give a stronger answer.
Okay. Can you explain a project from your resume?
At my last job, I led a project to optimize our software. First, I analyzed the system and found the slow areas. Second, I rewrote the code for those specific areas. As a result, I reduced the loading time by 40%. That was the main process I used.
Wow, okay. That was so much clearer.
Notice the difference.
Yes. First of all, you used I instead of we. I led a project. I analyzed the system.
Right. I claimed my specific actions.
And you explained the process step by step. You said, first I did this, second I did that. It was very easy to follow.
And did you notice the result I included?
Yes, you said you reduced the loading time at 40%. That's a realistic, measurable result.
Exactly. It gives the AI a concrete data point.
I also really liked how you ended it. You said, that was the main process I used.
Yeah, that's a natural ending phrase. It clearly signals to the AI that I'm done speaking.
So you don't just sit there in awkward silence waiting for the screen to change.
Right. You could also say something like, that's the main way I handled the task. Just something clear and natural.
That is such a helpful structure. But I have to ask, does this format apply to every single question? Because depending on the role, the exact format can vary, right?
Oh, absolutely. The exact format can vary a lot. A software engineer is going to get very different questions than an AI trainer.
Let's talk about that. What if I'm applying to be a software engineer?
Expect things like code walkthroughs. They might show you some code and ask you to explain it.
So I'd have to walk through my reasoning step by step.
Yes. You identify the issue, explain the impact it has, and then explain how you would fix it.
Okay, what about AI trainers or domain experts? Like maybe I have a background in biology and I'm applying to evaluate medical AI.
For those roles, you might be asked to evaluate the quality of an AI response. They might show you an AI-generated answer and ask, how did you evaluate the quality of this response?
Or maybe, how would you explain a difficult concept clearly?
Exactly. They might ask you to solve or explain a domain-specific problem out loud.
And here's where it gets really interesting to me. What happens if the AI asks an unexpected follow-up question?
Oh, that happens. And that is exactly why you cannot just memorize answers word for word.
Right. Because if you just read a script and then the AI asks a follow-up, you'll freeze.
Completely. For example, the AI might ask, what would you do if an AI answer looks correct but has a hidden mistake?
Ooh, that's a tricky one.
It is. And you have to rely on your real expertise to answer it. You use your bridging phrase. So let me think about that for a second. And then you explain your real process.
That is so important. So we've covered a lot of ground today from these sources. Let's bring it all together. What are the top preparation tips for anyone facing one of these AI interviews?
Okay, let's do a quick checklist. First, review every line of your resume.
Right. If you listed a skill, be ready to explain it.
Second, prepare 2 or 3 real examples of your past work. Don't memorize them word for word, but know the details.
And practice explaining your thinking out loud. That feels a bit weird at first, talking to yourself in an empty room, but it really helps.
It does. And remember to use I instead of only using we. Be honest about your skill level.
Prepare for follow-up questions. Avoid long silence by using those bridging phrases.
And finally, test your camera, microphone, lighting, and internet before you start.
Use the browser recommended by the platform.
Exactly.
You know, when we started this exploration of the sources, the idea of an AI interviewer sounded, well, a bit intimidating.
It definitely can feel that way. It's a very new experience for most people.
But looking at all these tips, it really just comes down to communication. As AI interviews become more common, the most important skill isn't outsmarting a machine.
No, not at all.
The most important skill is being able to explain your real experience clearly, honestly, and under pressure.
I couldn't agree more. If you know your resume and you know how to structure your answers clearly, you are going to do just fine.
It's all about being prepared and being yourself. Just a very clear, structured version of yourself.
Well said.
Thank you so much for walking through all of this with me. And thank you to everyone listening to our exploration of the sources today. We hope these practical tips help you feel more confident the next time you turn on your camera. Good luck out there, keep learning, and stay curious.